What's up, guys? I'm Shonda. You're hearing my voice because YouTube did copyright me for my older videos, so I will be my own intro music now. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to us on other social networks. But enjoy the video. Bye. Hi, guys. I am back. I know it's been so long since I made a YouTube video. I have been so focused on my course and my group and my clients that I have just not set aside the time to record another YouTube video. But today I wanted to come back and answer a lot of the questions that I get on a day-to-day basis. I get these emails, I get messages and YouTube comments as well. So I wanted to make a video to where I am addressing the most common asked questions when it comes to credit repair and what people ask me on a day-to-day basis. So if you're interested in that, just stay tuned and I will get right to it. Is what do you do when a collection hits your report? So I would say the very first time or the very first moment when a collection reaches your report, the first thing that you want to do is look to make sure that you first can identify the collection, meaning that whether it's sold to a collection agency or not, are you familiar with the original creditor? Do you recall having this account? I'm wanting to make sure that it is not anything as a result of identity theft. The second thing that I recommend is that you look over it to make sure that it is reporting consistently across the board, meaning that if you have credit monitoring, which I always recommend when you're especially trying to repair your credit or work towards purchasing a home, you always have active credit monitoring because it's very vital that you know the second that something hits your account, your credit report. Also, it's very vital that you can have that 3-bureau layout to where you see if it's reporting accurately or not. If you do not currently have credit monitoring, I will drop a link to Smart Credit, which I recommend. Here's an example of Smart Credit. I love the layout. It's super easy to see if something is reporting accurately. And I personally use Smart Credit on my clients, personally. So you would look at your 3-bureau report and make sure that everything is reporting consistently across the board. A lot of times when collections are new, they usually just hurry up and sell to a collection agencies and the collection agencies rush to, report it on your credit report so that you can rush to pay it. So a lot of the times the information is not accurate or consistent. So a lot of the times you can get deletions just based on them being irresponsible and reporting this account inaccurately or again, inconsistently across the board. After you check in to see if it's reporting consistently across the board, the next thing that I recommend that you do is go ahead and send step 4 of the 6-step challenge system. That is a blanket dispute, meaning that you're not having to identify a specific reason why you're disputing this. You're only disputing the bureaus to ensure that everything is reporting accurately, consistently, and up to date. So that's what I consider a blanket dispute. The next question is, how do I get rid of excessive inquiries? This is a great question because a lot of people have a lot of inquiries that they have gotten as a result of shopping around for cars or maybe store cars or just any time that someone has ran your credit, they have inquiries. Inquiries can, of course, decrease your score, though they're only, worth 10% of your actual score. They can affect you because some companies do have rules in place where they will deny you just based on having excessive inquiries. So it's not a great thing to have a ton of inquiries on your report at any time. So if you are trying to delete them, first you need to understand inquiries. There are 2 different types of inquiries. There's soft inquiries and then there's hard inquiries. The soft inquiries are what you see when you check your credit. So if you have any credit monitoring services, they usually will list your your soft inquiries. Those are what the lenders do not see. These do not affect your score. They don't see it. They don't factor in any calculation. Then you have hard inquiries. Hard inquiries does count against you. They can lower your score between 1 to 5 points each inquiry. Lenders do see this and they can see, oh, this person is excessively applying for credit. They appear desperate. That's what inquiries can say about you. But when it comes to hard inquiries, the law states that a company has to have permissible permission to run your credit. No company can view your credit if you did not give them permission to do so. So there's 3 different ways that you can challenge inquiries. The very first way is if the inquiry is a result of fraud, meaning that someone actually ran your credit that you did not give them permission to. Maybe someone applied for credit in your name and they ran it. You would then challenge it based on fraud premises. So you would
right? I usually say get a police report. You can do this online by going to identitytheft.gov. And like I said, this is only if this is true fraud. Don't do this if it's not fraud, because you can get in a lot of trouble and you are lying to a government entity. So it is not worth it to do it if you're not a victim of true fraud. So that's one way. The next way is if you did apply for the credit or you did give them permission, and say, for instance, you just did not get approved for the account or the car or whatever you were applying for. If you did not get approved, then you have just this inquiry on your credit score and it's not tied to any account. I never recommend that you dispute any inquiries that are tied to any business, any company that you are currently doing business with, whether that's insurance, whether that's cable. Even if it's not an account on your credit report, you can still be doing business with them outside of your credit report, and you should not challenge the inquiry. It's not worth it. You run the risk of closing the account tied to the inquiry. So a regular inquiry that you, like I said, is not tied to any account, you would challenge it by just writing a simple letter to the credit bureaus. I'll post a copy here and you can screenshot it. It's just a short, simple inquiry letter. And then another way that you can challenge it is you can go directly to the creditor. I usually recommend this if you challenge your inquiry and you're seeing that it's not being deleted. The credit bureaus are refusing to delete it, or they send you the letter stating that you need to go directly to the creditor. So if you apply for an Old Navy card when you were in the store, you would send a letter directly to Old Navy as opposed to the credit bureau. So those are 3 ways that I usually challenge. What effects does consolidating your student loans have to do with your score? This is a great question because I get asked all the time about consolidating student loans, whether I agree with it or whether I recommend it or not. That's a tricky situation because depending on your actual credit profile, your credit history, I would recommend different things. Usually, like I always say, your student loans are usually your oldest account on your credit report. Usually people start getting student loans at 18, which is of course the earliest age that you're able to get a trade line on your report. So usually their student loans are their first reported trade line. Thus, they contain the bulk of their credit history and credit age. If you consolidate those, you do have to know that they do close all of your old student loans account. So all of the accounts that you got in, say, 2003 or, whatever, they're going to close those and open up a new account. So 2 ways that's affecting you. Anytime you close an account or open an account, you do lose credit age. So you will run the risk of losing a ton of credit age when you consolidate, but sometimes it is worth it depending on your situation. If you know that you just want one payment and you just want to get it over with and it works for your situation, I have nothing against consolidating your student loans if it works better for your financial situation. But if you're only doing that because you feel as though it's going to improve your score, then maybe you should reconsider, especially if you don't have many old accounts and the student loan is your oldest account. Like I said, you just run that risk of losing a ton of credit. If I co-signed on a car with someone, can I remove my name? This is a great question. And again, I get this a lot. If you co-sign for someone, you are not able to remove your name off that account unless they refinance the loan and apply without you. So you're pretty much stuck with this car until the loan terms changes, meaning that they reapply or they trade in the car or something like that. You're tied to that car.
So I decided to end part 1 right now. I'm trying to keep these videos short, sweet, and to the point. I do have more questions recorded that I will put in a part 2. So I'll just make this an ongoing series of like questions that I'm constantly being asked, so it's easier to follow than making like a long drawn out video. Sorry about that, but again, you'll be receiving part 2, 3, whatever. I have so many questions, and if you do want to submit a question that I may have not answered, there's a link in the description that you are able to always submit questions to me to answer in future videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah, thank you.